And we're back. Welcome back once again to Redneck Rantings. It is still Wednesday, March, whatever. I don't care about the date in any particular fashion. And this is the second of two review videos that I am going to be uploading today. This one is the Netflix original series, Love, Death, and Robots. Netflix has been putting out a lot of original content, and quite frankly, it's tending to be, in my personal opinion, real hit or miss. The stuff is running very hot and cold for me. Love, Death, and Robots is an absolute solid, no fucking around, out of the park and into your grandma's bathroom sink home run hit. Okay? For those of you who are not familiar with the series, Love, Death, and Robots, it is an animated anthology series, and I'm going to stop right there. I don't especially care for the anthology format of TV storytelling. I think that the original Twilight Zone, the Rod Serling black and white Twilight Zone, and the original black and white Outer Limits did it best. I think that the remake of the Outer Limits did it pretty solidly, but it didn't match what the other... Good grief, I love the way this camera just drifts around wherever the hell it wants. But it really can't match the original, okay? Those are really the only three anthology shows that I can think of that really did a great job and really were worthy of the time it takes to watch them. Love, Death, and Robots is very much in that same category. It's been a long time since I saw an anthology series, watched more than 2 minutes of it and went, okay, this is a hard pass. There goes the dog. Love, Death, and Robots is a science fiction series. And each episode tells a different story, about 15 minutes on average. And each one is very unique. There's no real connection to any of them, except that there's robots in a couple of them, and there's death in a couple of them, and sometimes there's death and robots. All right? I've only seen a few of the episodes. I haven't watched the entire series yet. I haven't binged out on it. But the ones that I have seen have been very, very well done. Let's start with the animation and the artwork. I am a big animation fan. I come from, the 70s and 80s when Saturday morning cartoons were still a thing. I cut my teeth on the old school anime manga, like the original Robotech, the original Fist of the North Star, the original Vampire Hunter D. So I like to think I have moderately high standards when it comes to quality of animation. The animation is very, very well done. What's really interesting is it's a series of different animation styles. One episode in which a woman witnesses a murder and then is chased by the murderer through her street is done in kind of a very stark manga-esque style of visuals and actions and quick cuts. There is another one called Suits, in which these farmers have to defend their crops and their land from these invading animals in homemade mech suits. So if you like things like Battletech or, again, Robotech, or anything in which somebody is driving a big gunned up power suit, you're going to get a big kick out of that one. That one's a bit more, I want to say, yeah, a little bit more cartoonish in the animation style. And this is kind of the way things go throughout. Whatever style of animation that they choose to use. There's one about 3 robots that go on vacation. This is like post-human Earth, and 3 robots go on vacation checking out the ruins of an apocalyptic city. That one is kind of, I want to say, like Pixar realistic, okay? You know, when Pixar is really going for that photorealistic look, that's this. All of the stories grab you virtually from the first moment, with the exception of the one that I mentioned about the woman witnessing the murder. There are strong elements of humor in them. I mean, you will legitimately laugh. Actually, no, I take it back. There's one other one that has no element of humor whatsoever in it. And that is one in which the plot, the device around which the plot revolves is the big sport in this particular story is people piloting using cybernetic technology to remote pilot what amounts to smaller sized kaiju in an arena fight, okay, in basically a pit fight. Okay, there's no humor whatsoever in that one that I could detect. And what's really great about this is it's not a story that lends itself to humor. The laughs in these stories, where they are present, are organic, they fit, they flow into the story naturally. There is nothing forced about the feeling. The writing and the voice acting in all of them are very good. They're telling a very tight, attention-getting story that keeps you caring about what's going on the whole time, and that's very, very hard to do with what amounts to, if I can refer to the literary storytelling form of flash fiction, where you're basically trying to tell a story in 100 words or less. It's very hard to do well, I believe, in such a short segment where you have to get the person hooked and invested literally within the first 30 seconds, or they're going to scroll on and they're going to find something else to watch. Every one of these episodes does this. Now, I will let you know that and this may or may not be considered a spoiler, I will let you know that the episodes that I have seen, and the cat is getting sick in the background, wonderful. The episodes that I have seen have all had a twist of some sort. And honestly, I'm not a big fan, usually, of the twist. I think it is an overdone storytelling device. A whoa, didn't see that coming, you know, where you're just like basically waiting. It's like, okay, and the twist is, it's become a meme and a trope in itself. And I think that in some ways it's almost gotten to the point of utilizing it almost counts as lazy writing. In every instance that I have personally observed in the series Love, Death, and Robots, I don't consider that to be the case. Okay? The twists are not predictable. They are not cliche. And they actually work. Okay? You know, it's kind of hard to make such an overused writing device really make you sit up and pay attention these days. Every single one of the episodes so far has been like, yes, that works. I like that. And they all leave you wanting more. Every single one of these episodes that I have seen is like, okay, now what? You've given me the first 10 minutes of the movie. I want to know the rest of the movie. Or you've given me like 10 minutes from the second or third act of the movie. I want to know everything else that's going on. It tells a bite of what could be a larger story. Like, for instance, the Suits, the mecha one. I want to know more about this particular world. I want to know how this circumstance came to be. The situation with the robots on vacation, same thing. The pit fighting one, I want to know more about that world, man. Every single one of these is like, yes, no, give me 90 minutes of this. Give me 90 minutes. Hell, give me 2 hours of this. I won't move except to pee. Maybe. All right? So, Love, Death, and Robots. Very, very well done. If Netflix was still doing the star review system, and I'm not going to rant about that in this particular video, but if Netflix were still doing the stars, I would give this series a solid fucking 5 stars, man. Instead, I am going to give it a hearty and enthusiastic thumbs up. I am going to encourage everyone, if you haven't already watched it, to get to watching it. It's really great because it's the kind of thing like, okay, yeah, it's like I can watch one of these real quick before going off to dinner. Of course, be advised, you may find out that 2 hours have gone by and you've watched the whole goddamn series. All right? It's that good. So, watch it, tell your friends about it, give it a thumbs up. It really does deserve all the praise it can get. All right? So, that's the end of that little rant. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the button, ding! Validate my rambling misanthropic existence with your acknowledgement. I will see you tomorrow when we'll get a bit political. I've got a few things I want to say about some shit that's going down, and we'll talk more about that. Have a great night, and if there's any... oh, that's the other thing. If there's any subjects that you'd like me to go off about, mention them in the comments below. All right? Because I'm here for you. If there's something you want to hear me tear on about, I'm willing to take suggestions, though God knows I've got plenty of opinions and I believe the whole world is entitled to them. Cheers!